Check two. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. If you could all turn your chairs and your food this way so I can watch you eat for a while. I appreciate it. And let's get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road. There's no business like show business. If I can have your attention, please. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. First thing I want to say is every time you see a beautiful performance, such as Sandy singing Over the Rainbow, there's a guy on the piano trying to raise up to that level. Love, lift us up where we belong. And trying to play, see the keys through the tears. Sandy, that was beautiful. Welcome to our annual meeting. We had lunch with Reverend Kathy the other day, and she said, what are you going to do to keep it interesting this year? So I think maybe I'll try some song and dance. I don't know. But the first thing I'd like to do is welcome Doc up to do our invocation, please. Doc Wilson.
Oh, let's just take a nice breath together. Smell that food. Retaste it as it's coming back into our lungs. Just recognizing that God is everything, that love permeates everything, that we are the cathedrals that are still being built, opened at the top, open to Spirit's guiding, open to Spirit's willingness to manifest itself through each and every one of us. I know that I am part of that wonderful plan and that individualization of Spirit as Spirit manifests in me. And as I know this for myself, I know this also for all of us. Not only do I know that Spirit is alive and well and moving through each and every one of us. So I call this meeting today blessed. I know this time together will be fun, joyful, eye-opening. As we recognize the work that has been done here during this past, it seems like more than a year, but it has just been this 1 year. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity for us to get together and have our annual meeting, welcome new members to the board of directors, honor people who are on their way out. And if you will join me in affirming all of this by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Doc. On January 1st of 2022, we got a new spiritual leader, a new senior minister by the name of Rev Bev. Yes. I knew that the winds of change were in the air as we got to know her. And I remember proudly proclaiming, standing right here doing the annual meeting last year, that bold things were coming, big changes were coming. And as you'll see in the next few minutes, it was very true. It was very true. Huge steps forward. Not a bad year for your first year with us, or for any year with us. Thank you. Yes. I gotta follow myself here. The state of the center. Here's some things that I also want to cover. What have we been doing with our property? What have we been doing with our in the greater community? What are our ongoing offerings to the greater community? And what else has been going on? And I want to say right from the start that if the slide set and me get off, it's all me. It's not on her. Early in the year, Rev Bev took us, this is after the new members were voted in, Rev Bev had the entire leadership council over to her house for a weekend. It'll happen again this year for the members of all the members of the leadership council, but it was a fantastic weekend. And it kind of gave us spiritual insights into why we're on the board. Rev Bev led us through this at her house. It was beautiful. It was awesome. It was really nice. A weekend that was not wasted. It was well done. And so we all kind of learned where we're going to be going this year, how we're going to be doing it, more importantly. And if you look at the faces of everybody there, that's a happy group, and we still are. I consider, look at these guys. I'm going to get sentimental for a moment. I consider everyone in this picture, everyone here, but I became such close friends with everyone on the Leadership Council this year. Like, all of you guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Love you too. Now we get into financial numbers, where I get lost really easily. I'm just going to read straight from my script here. You can see that in 2021 we had quite a large budget, proposed $70,000, and we had a total income of $76,000. Proposed and coming in very close to the same. In 2022, at the start of the year, Rev Bev, mostly Rev Bev, but with some help from Sandy and I, put together a budget for 2022. It was bold. It was big. It was believable because we made it believable. And this is one of the things we learned from Rev Bev this year. You can make it happen. Put it out there, you can make it happen. This was a huge thing, total proof right here. I remember us excitingly proposing 100K, we can make this happen, and we took in 94,510. Just about a 20% jump from the year before. Yeah, I agree. There's an extra goodness of 1473. Not bad extra goodness. I like the way that phrase works. Also, stay tuned for more boldness. A little bit later today, Rev Bev will give us the numbers for 2023. I want to talk a little bit about around the property, and especially this. Sometime early in the year, or maybe slightly before 2022, Leonala approached me and said that the little red house over there, you guys know that house? The deck was falling apart. Not only was it falling apart, but there's an 8-foot drop to a cement floor down there. We brought it to the board, and like within minutes, Glenn had a team of people going. There was 4 people. Is it the same 4 that did the door? No, okay, anyway, 4 people. Glenn had this done like within a week. That is the floor. It's treated. It's going to last forever. Like 10,000 years, people will be coming through. Look at this floor is still over here. Doesn't that look like an album cover? It's hard to believe, but those of you who have been around for a while will remember that when we used to stand up here and talk, you'd have to wait as all the motorcycles and ambulances went by. This was a total community effort, doing those doors right there. We've been planning it for years. We're going to have plants out there. No, that wasn't going to work. What could we do? You know, all kinds of ideas. Here's what happened. It was designed by Fran and Joachim, sanded by Leonala and John, the ceiling coat by Shelley. The doors were hung, do I got them in the right order? Glenn, Adriano, Duke, and Joachim. Yep, there they are, the doors. Prepare to clap a lot. There's some cool stuff coming up. Let's take a trip to the roof. Oh, the doors after. Or the doors after. Okay. All right, the floor after. Maybe our largest fundraiser of 2022 was to redo our floor. I got to say it was ugly. It was ugly. And look at it now. Look at it now. An incredible fundraiser with great work. I love the floor just like it is. I'm going to say it. This picture was intended to be just like our center with a beautiful rainbow over it, but I also noticed that it was a before photo of the roof. Needs a little bit of care, needs a little bit of power washing. So Doc, was that your son that did it? Oh, no, sorry. Was that your son who did it? Oh. We've been working that out for a week. And what do you think now? What a difference a roof makes and a floor and a door. Beautiful plants. The plants are the border. They were gifted a couple of years ago by Reverend Mark that have grown so beautifully under the loving care of Fran and her helpers. Sherry and Joy, Glenn, Adriano, Ray, and Rev Bev, to name but a few of those who are involved with all the plants we have up front. And then right at the end of the year, our road was graveled. We got a note from Glenn saying he got a guy that can do it cheap. Glenn's just the man through this whole thing. And Sandy and I pulled into this center like 2 days later, and the guy was out there with a tractor putting their new road down. His name was Chris? Yeah, thank you, Glenn and Chris, for that. Done very nicely, all in one day. Okay, our greater community using and are loving our center. First of all, Girls to Women Hawaii was a mentoring group, used their center for that. Project Hawaii post-summer camp celebration was done right here at the center. The Aging and Disability Resource Center, Lucinda set this up for those of us elder people who can't get around anymore. Thank you, Lucinda. Events and fun stuff. We've just begun with this. The yard sale, chaired, as you can see by her sitting in a chair with her arm waving, by Susan. Thank you, Susan. And another one coming up. But everyone was involved with this hugely. It brought in over $2,000. Is it time for a little song and dance? Okay. We had another fundraiser for Pick Your Tile Day. Right there. There's Rev Bev, Rev Mark, all the Revs, Rev Kathy. More about the floor later, by the way. Next, Joaquin, are you here? No. He put on an event called All You Need Is Love. It was a bunch of groups doing Beatles songs, which was pretty awesome. And next, there's the disco ball hanging from the ceiling. That's a real picture of the center there. I think John Hitch put that up. Yes, he did. Thank you, John. He went up a ladder I wouldn't touch. Like maybe I'd touch to hold it, but I'd be on the floor the whole time. Next, Beach Fest put on by Dennis and Christy. Dennis Allstrand trying to light the grill, unable to. Drives off to a store to try to get some lighter or something like that. By the time he came back, Luz had that thing going. She goes, oh, you just go like this. I was like, I don't know. Should have got her to do it in the first place. Next was Trunk or Treat. When we were putting that together, we said, I don't care if only one person shows up. We're doing this every year. And this was hugely attended. If you were here, you'll remember lines of people just driving in, cars coming in, people driving through, going through it, all the trunks open out in the back. On the more sentimental side, Rev Bev vision for Thanksgiving, and we'll get into Christmas in a second. No one should be lonely. Reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. Okay, thank you for that. Reach for the stars. Only Sandy and Dennis and Christy, two Dennises, and Bub Pratt all performed for an event. So this is all of our events during the year. Now to Thanksgiving. Okay. Rev Bev's image and vision was a good one. No one should be lonely on Thanksgiving. If they have a chance to come down here, there was a gratitude service, performances by Doc, and there was a candle lighting, a very nice event. And then on Thanksgiving Day, a potluck with a great panorama photo. Look at that. Okay, on Christmas, I want to read this because I took some time to write this out. This was Rev Bev's pure vision of Christmas Eve. The mission was to spread aloha, as it was with Thanksgiving, especially for those who needed it. A lot was put into preparation for this, all with such good feelings. Performers, songs, poems, order of presentations were selected. Music was rehearsed. Volunteers constructed ornaments and did some decorating a week before. A magical collection of music, readings, and poetry. The night was beautiful. all went as planned, and her vision of Christmas Aloha was planted in all of our hearts. I think it might have just been the event of the year. Ongoing offerings, this is stuff we do regularly. We have a morning meditation that meets every weekday morning at 8 o'clock on Zoom. The link for Zoom is in the newsletter. We all kind of talk and socialize a little bit, but then we have quiet time, and we all meditate together. Then our first Wednesday night contemplative service, monthly here at the center. The Aloha Circle, which has been replaced by Conversations in Consciousness. It's Jurassic Park. Thank you. Okay. Our Sunday morning services are beautiful things. I think today was a great example. You guys look happy, don't they? That's how you always look when you're standing up here and you look out. Everyone always looks happy in this place. I love being here. The aloha you receive, what you see in here on Sunday mornings are all extensions of the vision that Rev Bev has for this center. Outreach programs including me calling up Sandy to talk about it.
Okay. I don't have a whole lot to say about them, but we decided to do a donation quarterly to a community organization, a nonprofit in the community, instead of doing a monthly one. And so this way we honor them a little bit more, give them a little bit more money, and we have a little more time to, if they're having a fundraiser, to see if there's anything we can do to help. So last year, the first quarter we did the food basket. Second quarter we did Malama Opuna, which is an environmental group working with the environment here in our area. Then we did Pet Fix, wonderful organization that does spay and neuter for free of cats and dogs. And then the final one last year was the Children's Law Project of Hawaii. You might remember Valerie Grab coming and talking about the wonderful work that they do with children in need. So I am very proud of those 4 organizations that we picked. I think they're all very worthy and wonderful organizations that we're able to support. So we will be doing it again this year. And as you can see, the first one we've kicked off already is the food basket, that's for this quarter. So we'll have the bins here for at least another week. So, the whole month, for the whole month. So please just, when you go to the store, just maybe remember to pick up a few things for our food basket, food drive also. And that's all for me. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to add, if anyone has any ideas, we probably pretty much have our the people that we've chosen set for this year. But if you ever have any ideas, just come to me. I'm the chairperson for this, and you've got a lot of years to come. Just let me know. Thank you. What's that? Local. Yeah, they need to be local. We want to support our local community. Okay.
Thank you, Sandy. Other goodness. Let's get down to this. Our audiovisual team. Yeah. I'm giving you a standing ovation. Every week, including right now, there's 2 shows going on. There's 2 sets of sound going on. There's us here and there's video going out. Joe is doing sound for here and he's doing sound for what's going over the internet. This team is awesome. This team is awesome. I know we thank you every week, and you guys all just point at each other as if the other one was the important one, but you all are fantastic. If you think that what you see and hear, home or here, sounds great, look and sound great, you have the following people to thank. There's Ray Ryan, the media team director. Joe Shahan, our audio lead. Lucinda Cervantes, the camera one, and slides. She's doing a camera and slides. I don't know, so GAHRS, Scott Gares, video support. And David Noodleman, audio support. This all came about because of COVID. So that, you know, when we had COVID, we only can have like 9 people here. So we really set our sights on sending a good broadcast for everyone to watch. But now it's just become even bigger and huger. So not everything about COVID was bad. Other goodness, our early Sunday morning crew. I'm going to name some names, but there's a lot of people that become involved. Lorene Campbell is always here before us, no matter how early we get here. Barbara Johnson, Susan Hicks, Kathy Huff, Reverend Kathy Huff, Paul Paulson. I got to say about Paul, Paul's one of the only guys other than Rev Bev who knows where all the chairs need to be. Okay, this is a folding chair here because of this person, this is the other chair there. He's got it all down. I don't. Our leadership council members are always here early trying to get stuff done. Elsie, yeah. And Reverend Bev, who's always here working hard. And lest we forget, you who are the behind the scenes, you who donate your time, money, and are here every Sunday, everybody, thank you. What about this last year? What did we have? We had 13 different speakers, 23 different musical guests, 52 different creative thoughts, so we didn't miss one all year, I'm taking it, I'm doing the math. 2 multi-week certified classes, of which I was in one, it was fantastic, and 10 workshops. Okay. I called the Christmas the event of the year. I think this was really the event of the year. The installation of Rev Bev, the project, was spearheaded by Sandy, and the project took a life of its own, took on a life of its own. Rarely before or never, if you were on this project, you'll know what I'm talking about. And a lot of people were. This project just took off. And everyone was into it, everyone was contributing, and everyone wanted to make this a beautiful day for you, and I believe that that wish was fulfilled. Even leading up to the day, I remember emails from Shelley and other people going, okay, on the morning at 9:45, I'll be, leaving Safeway, and at 9:48, entering my car, and this was fantastic. And what we're all hoping, Rev Bev, is that at that moment that you totally and forever felt welcome home. And I'd also like to welcome you home up to the microphone.
Oh, man. Goodness. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, everybody, for this year. Thank you, Dennis, for taking us through it. Anybody feel tired? I looked at that and I was like, whoo, let's take a breath. Dr. Falloon did it. It was like, we did a lot. It was brilliant, guys. And it was yours. You did it. You were part of it all the way. I mean, if it wasn't for you, there would have been no point in doing it. None of it at all. So, so much gratitude for all of the Leadership Council. I am in gratitude for each and every person that participated in each one of the things that we did. Gosh, we actually started doing the events and leading up, and we hit the trunk and treat, Halloween, it went like this. It was like a skyrocket of energy and stuff to do and things to get done. And it was only really till after my installation that we really were able to go, all right, we can rest. And now we get ready for the new year. So what I get to do right now is I get to speak about where we're going in this new year. I get to cast the vision for all of us, not my vision. This is not my vision, because my vision is your vision. We come together for this vision in. And so there's been a lot of work. There's stuff that I do that you guys will probably never really hear about unless I choose to tell you. And I'll tell you about one of it right now. I spend a lot of time not just writing and doing things. When I'm not actually working, I am visioning with all of you as this vessel that we create. I vision for this to see where we go based on everything you say. I do listen. We did a survey a couple of years ago, and those things are still unfolding. And then we take in new stuff and we hear more and we move forward from that place. So what are we going to do this coming year? I think we should just rinse and repeat. What do you think? But that is a lovely thought, because what we did last year, we should really do again and then add some more into it. And I think we've already kicked it off this year with our food drive. We've kicked it off by setting up who our partners for the outreach are going to be. We've started with one of the biggest classes. You know, I mean, right now we have 17 students in foundations, an 11-week commitment. Pat yourselves on the back, because that's a brilliant place to go, because it is from there that we establish the vision and the understanding of how we are CSL and how we can walk out in the world. So this is wonderful and great, and of course, I can tell you that above all else, last year I promised that we would do one big fundraiser a year. I really like that idea, because there's this idea, and I'll speak to it a little bit more about giving, but we do one fundraiser so that we come together. Now, I loved the last fundraiser. You know why? We spent very little money on the actual fundraiser. So to create that, okay, so we raised $5,500, right? To create that, we raised that money, but to do it cost me $200. That's what we want to do. So my invitation right now is, if you have any ideas, come and speak to me. Because I've got an idea, but it's going to take a lot more work and a lot more people. But anyway, so if you have ideas that are minimal work, minimal output from outside, maximum yield, I'm your girl. Come and speak to me about that. So we'll be doing that for sure. And of course, events have already kicked off. We're going to be walking through the year with the events. And of course, there's no doubt that as we go into the last quarter of the year, that all the celebrations will be done again. And now that we've done it once, think what we can do the next time. You know, I remember when we walked into the first meeting for Trunk and Treat, I heard, but we got no kids. We got no kids. I went, yes. We had close to 300 children come by that. They may not be our kids, but they are our community kids. And if we're not working in and for the community, then there's no really reason for us to be here. We can steep ourselves in our spirituality wherever we want to go. But this is, I'm so proud of you for doing all of that. Give yourselves a hand. All right, let's talk money. Yay! So last year, when I said, let's set the budget for $100,000, Everybody was like, oh my God, how are we going to do that? And I said, remember, if you are someone that puts a $20 bill in the basket or the bowl Sundays, add a cup of coffee. Do you remember that? I said, add a cup of coffee. That would be like an extra $4 or $5, and we will meet our goal that way. Look what we did with a cup of coffee. Look what we did with that extra bit of coffee. No, it's coming. Yeah, I know. All right. You can still hear me, right? All right. I'll switch. I love being out. Yeah, it's just the battery's running out. We had it on for too long. All right. So here we go. So this year, what we did is we had a budget for 100,000. We came in at 93. Was that right? No, the actuality. Our income was 94,500. We came in about $5,000 short. Interesting enough, that happened the year before too. It seems like we just don't really come all the way up to that figure. So anyway, what we did this year, I went through all the numbers. So we set our proposed expenses at 96,000. Now remember that 96,000 is everything that we did. I mean, if you want to know what I did this last week, ask Alyssa. All I did was move figures. I took that P&L report, I ripped it apart and re-put it back together and balanced, I will have you know. Anyway, thank you. But here's what I looked at. So if we have proposed expenses at 96, and we set for 105, we're only raising it by $5,000, right? But 10,000 from where we came. We can do that. $26 per person. Really. That's what it's going to take for a weekly to do that. We can all do that. This does not include our fundraisers. All right? Our fundraisers are over and above on this income. We need that because there are things in our budget that we can't put in. We can put in some small things, but we want to do some good work this year. And part of the vision for this year is to look around this beautiful building that we have and take care of it. It really needs some love and care. Wonderful thing is we have quite a few people. We've got John, we've got Glenn, we've got all these wonderful people that have the know-how to guide us. But we need their money to do it. And I think that we could do another fundraiser, that we can raise it above so that we can replace the gutters, we can seal all the wood, we can do all of that. We can do some work in the little schoolhouse. Much needed work to bring it up. Therein lies where I think we can go in our fundraiser. If we do this with our regular general fund income, we can support our community, we can support our outreach programs, we can support our events. Our fundraisers will support the beautification of this center. It's important, folks, because if we don't get that done, it'll crumble around us. We live in Hawaii. You know, the weather eats us up. So I encourage you to keep giving from the place of the open heart. One thing I want you to know, I'm going to grab my phone. Not only can you give in all the ways that we tell you on Sunday morning, but we have text to tithe available for you. Text to tithe. You hit your text message. I put in text. Give to East Hawaii CSL. I pop in my tithe. Add a zero. I'm the minister. Have you seen the... No. I had 2 zeros, exactly. I put my tithe in, I hit send, and it's done. This is a wonderful tool to use, and it says, thank you for your contribution. You'll be emailed a receipt, and if something goes wrong, just type refund, and we'll take care of it. So it's a very easy way to go. And if you're somebody that likes to follow your unexpected income, you can do it on the moment. You get it, you tithe. We know we're in circulation. And you know, folks, I've never shied away about speaking about money. I never will, because to me it is currency. It is literally the electricity that runs our world. So I'm reaching out to you. I'm saying thank you for everything we received last year. And for this year, let's step in a little deeper. Let's make things happen. Are we good? And I think that on that note, I'm going to hand it over to our next person. Did I say everything I needed to say? You said it all. I did. But remember, this is the vision for all of us. We walk each other home and we walk this path together. I love you guys. My installation was the most brilliant thing. It was one of the most important days of my life. And seeing your faces since that day, it's unbelievable. Folks, we're here to stay. We have a bat signal going up into the sky. Know that we're attracting all the most wonderful people to build our community, to deepen into our spirituality, and be a force of a spiritual nature. Thank you.
All right, everybody, I'm going to cut this shorter because a lot of my comments have just been taken. Okay. Today, I want to talk about the building. This building is a work of art. It was built with love by volunteers. And much like we heard talking about CSL, it has been a program of progress. But the progress has always had one person who led one component to fruition. The person who had a vision, decided the product could be done, led the volunteers to make it happen. And today I want to thank one person. You.
Nice.
We've talked about the doors.
Yeah.
We've talked about the doors. My idea was a sliding glass door. This was the guy who made something beautiful, an artwork out of it. But that's only the beginning. As you know, I was one of the people who led the idea of let's deal with this floor. And Reverend Bev came up with the idea of bricks, little block woods with names on it. Sounded okay, sort of a puzzle thing. This is the guy who made the piece of artwork. Not only did we raise money, but we made a memorial to Reverend Tagg. But that's not enough.
No?
No. For those of you who were not at the installation, this was the gift to Reverend Bev. And appreciation for all of her future efforts. Guess who made it?
Made her up.
So, the leadership, no, you're not. The Leadership Council said, we have to do something to thank him.
Big surprise. Oh, whoa.
And I will give credit to Reverend Bev. She asked me to do it. I couldn't come up with much. She came up with this beautiful plaque. The imager, the artist, the master craftsman. We are so grateful for your beautiful works of art that grace and enhance our center's design, supporting the ambience for spiritual growth. We love and appreciate all that you do and all you are. The Leadership Council.
I did not expect that. It was not rehearsed. It is a total surprise to me. I'm so honored. I'm grateful. And I'm very happy that it worked out with the doors. I wasn't sure if it's going to work. I'm impressed with myself. Thank you. And I love you all in the building, and I always love to come here. And thank you, Reverend Beverley.
So this leads me into dealing with a touchy subject, the labyrinth. So here we go, folks. For those of you who don't know, back in the early stages of the construction, one of the leaders, Reverend Tagg, took a crayon and made a labyrinth on the floor. A crayon. If he ever thought it was going to be permanent, he would never have used a crayon. 7 years ago, when I first came here, we had a floor that was rough concrete, had some crayon on it. If you looked real closely, you could figure out it was a labyrinth, but barely. It was stained, it was dirty, it was ugly. Myself and a couple other volunteers came in, pressure washed, and painted the floor with concrete paint. That was going to be the solution. We actually repainted the labyrinth, or at least made an effort at it. And if any of you remember what the floor looked like a year ago, it also looked ugly. All of the paint had chipped off. It was starting to stain. So we started the concept of redoing the floor. We raised $5,500 through that. Thank you again. All $5,500 was paid to the man who came, the company, who came in and ground the floor. Got everything off, smoothed out the concrete as much as possible, stained the concrete, not painted, stained, absorbed into the raw concrete, and then was sealed. Last Friday, the second coat of sealing went on. Now, when we started this project, we had the idea that we were going to put the labyrinth back onto it. There were people who wanted that. We understood that people liked the labyrinth. The problem we have, and I'll take the blame for it, is the product will not stick. We cannot paint the labyrinth on again and not have it peel off. It is not the method we need for a good labyrinth. So, the board and I have agreed that we are committed to making a labyrinth for the center, but we're going to look for an alternative means to create one that is not going to be a problem 3 years down the road. We've had years of problems we don't need anymore. So we're looking at alternatives. 3 of them that we're discussing. One is a light system that sets a light down on and creates a labyrinth picture. So we could turn it on and walk through that when we needed and wanted a labyrinth. Another alternative is possibly a rollout system, like a carpet that has a labyrinth on it. The third one is to take a piece of our property and make a garden labyrinth. Well, I think I got a vote on that one. So, do we have an answer? No. But I'm sorry to all the people who feel like I ever misled you. I didn't mean to. But painting the labyrinth on the floor just is not a good practical idea, and we were not going to do it. So, if you want to blame somebody, blame me, but we have alternatives. Thank you for listening.
it's always fun when I don't have the running order. I've learned how to surrender. Woo! Thank you, Glenn, for that. Yes, it's very difficult sometimes when we have an idea and when you find yourself in the place you have to pivot in order to go forward and create something that is going to be lasting. And look at the beauty of what we got. We can't take a chance on this one right now. So thank you all for participating and just being completely in with us as we move forward, as we find another alternative. Right now, I want to just share with you that for many, many years, we had a wonderful lady by the name of Geraldine that was our CPA. She would sit in the background. I know that she came before I was here. She would come to meetings and talk about the budgets and the P&L statements and stuff like that. Well, Geraldine is stepping away. She has decided it's time to retire. In fact, when I spoke with her 2 days ago, she was working on her final account. So I want to say a tremendous gratitude to Geraldine for all of her service. It's been fantastic. She has supported us for, 7 years, Reverend Kathy? About 7 years for just being in service to the community. So we're very, very grateful to her. She couldn't be with us today. I do have a gift and a gift certificate that I will be taking over to her home for her in gratitude. So I'd like to say thank you to her. Thank you, Geraldine. We love you. And then in that, we always have to have somebody that steps up. So Sandra, please stand. Welcome our new CPA. Yes. She has no idea what she is in for. Anybody that's worked with me knows I can be a little meticulous, and when it comes to numbers, I am a fiend. I think she is more of a fiend than I could ever be, and I'm so excited. It's brilliant. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for giving of your service. We are so grateful to you, and I'm really excited to see as we move forward in that. Thank you.
– 2022 was a heck of a year, wasn't it? Did I go through it too fast? You want me to go through it again? It was incredible. When you put that slide set together and I saw it for the first time, and I started going through it, I was going, yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did. Yeah, wow. It was incredible. It was an incredible year. Now we're moving into 2023, and we have new leadership council members to elect.
Yeah. Stay
Oh,
right over here.
okay.
There you go. Don't go anywhere. Yes, we have new leadership councils, people to elect. Unfortunately, one of our greats is decided to take a break. And I say take a break because there's no way. Can you see how I'm holding on so tightly? Yeah. He's never getting out of here completely. But we want to thank our beloved Dennis for being the president of the board for a couple of years now. I took over from Reverend Kathy a couple of years ago. He runs a tight ship, folks. He really, truly does. And please, I'd like you to stand and give him some applause. Yes.
All right, already. Thank you.
And of course, we have to have a gift for him.
Thank you.
Of course, we have to have a little gift for him. And I'm going to take them out just because, it's difficult to buy beautiful gifts for a gentleman. But I decided that I didn't know him to be a drinker, but water he would always drink. So I got him this glass. And on the front is the CSL logo. Will you read what's on the back?
Oh, this is my saying. This shit works.
I have another one with the logo. Will you please read what it says?
Oh, my other saying. Money rolling in, money rolling out. Wow. Double-fisted drinker.
There you go.
Actually, it was quite easy to get. This is perfect.
And we have a gift certificate think you should take yourself and your beloved Sandy out for dinner.
All right.
Maybe to the little Gila Bay Cafe.
Hill Bean Cafe, thank you.
We love him. I'm going to take this over there, okay, and wrap it up for you.
Keep it safe. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rev Bev. There you go. There were multiple candidates for the board, the leadership committee, and for this coming year. Quite a few, and we vetted in a certain way. The board got together and vetted each of the candidates. A lot of stuff that we're looking for. Full participation, being here early, helping set up, moving chairs and things, helping break down at the end. Thank you to all those who were not selected, and thank you to those who were, everybody. Thank you. We have 2 applicants, and they're sitting right next to each other. Is that by design? John Hitch, please stand up. John is quite open about a near-death experience. Yeah, stay standing. Stay standing. A near-death experience that he had. Yeah, come on up. And how it brought out spirituality and commitment to him that can't be beat. He also is going to have a focus on our building and what we were sitting when we were in the meeting talking to you. He's looking through the window, going, "That fascia's got to be treated, replaced." Look at that. You know, we could see the whatever, all the stuff out there that needs to be done. So you bring a lot of energy to us. I hope you'll be elected too. Next, Sandra Silva, who's also our treasurer. Could you guys stand over here? Yeah, right in the middle. Don't be hiding. Get over there. Sandra brings, along with her deep spirituality and desire to learn, a focus on how to bring younger members into the fold. There was I think it was Christmas, whatever, you brought all your kids. And we're going, yeah, bring those kids, man. I also think that you will bring curiosity about why things are being done. You'll have questions for the Leadership Council, and that never hurts. As we saw during this last year, it never hurts for our board to take a look at things, because we took a look at a lot of things. If they passed the mission statement, they happened. So I'm going to ask us all to take a vote one by one for each of these 2 individuals here, John, Sandra, and I'm going to do this real easily. For John Hitch, if you approve of him being our Leadership Council member for the next 2 years, please just raise your hand. I think we have a yes for John Hitch. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what's about to happen, I think. I think your suggestion is so good that we're going to do it. For Sandra Silva, not civil. She is civil, but Silva. Yeah. All those who feel that she should also be serving on the Leadership Council for the next 2 years, please raise your hands. I believe it is. I'm seeing unanimity out here. John Hitch, Sandra Silva. Your 2 new CSL Leadership Council members. Let's all, the entire Leadership Council, if you can all come up, this is what it's going to look like. I just feel like throwing this out. How about one more raise of hands? Do you accept this as your Leadership Council? I want to say just a few words. You will work hard together. You will envision together, working with Reverend Bev very strongly, and well. I can tell this is going to be a fantastic leadership council, and will all become very close friends with each other too. It's a good experience. Thank you, everybody. That's it for me.
Oh my gosh, I know I'm going to be held to task this coming year. We have a strong leadership council. Thank you, and welcome. And they will be meeting with me 2 weeks from this weekend. We will do our leadership council retreat, and we will deepen into the vision and where we move forward together. It's a spiritual experience because we come first from the heart. The business stuff is easy to do. It's coming from the heart. That is where we want to go. So, if there are any questions, anybody with something you want to throw out, any questions? If you have any questions about the budget or the finances, please feel free to see me whenever you like. I have summaries, I have spreadsheets, I have the documents. I have a memory that is ridiculous sometimes. So please feel free to come and see me. We are an open community. Everything is transparent. Everything is of public record. So do not worry about any of that. It is open for any of you at any time. And of course, if you have suggestions about it, yeah, come and see me too. We always love that. So are there any questions right away that anybody would like us to address? I love it. Just to add one note, the board and myself, we got together, and we do really want to hear your ideas. So we are putting together a form that you can fill out, give to us. We will run it by the board. Now, I just have to say, unfortunately, that not every idea is going to fly for many different reasons. It might not be the time, or it might not quite fit the vision, but we still want to hear from you because this is your community. We want to hear what you have to say. And always remember, when you come to me with, and so we're going to formulate a way so that it'll be easy for us to gather the information, take it to the board, run it, and then see, we will get back to you on whatever we think about it. Normally we love it, but just so in case. Just remember that if you have a brilliant idea, you've got to know the first question I'm going to ask you. How would you like to do it? Because we know that when you get called with an idea, it is actually a call on your heart first and foremost to bring it forward. So my first question would be, how would you like to do it? And let's see if we can support you in the fruition of it. So just know that that's coming too. All right, no more questions. Are we through? Are we done? Have we covered everything? Has this been brilliant? Reverend Kathy, did we do a good job? Yes, excellent.
And on time, too.
Say again?
And on time.
And on time. Oh, I didn't even see the clock. So, at this point, I think it's time for us to pray out so that we can release all that is being come here today. We can claim it and know that we move forward. So please take a breath. Oh, it is with a joyful heart that I stand here, right now, knowing that we are, as a community, leaning to the greater ideal for the center, knowing that we are responding to a call by Spirit to move forward in a beautiful, brilliant, magnificent way so that we can shine the light of who we are into our community and the world. So I know that moving through and looking through 2022, it just brings forward all the good and the wonderment that we have already done in our own center and the world. And I know for this community, it is grand. And it is right here ready to step in and just be that shining light. So I know that right here, right now, we are sending up a bat signal into the sky that beams up above our church, saying, welcome, welcome to the greater community. We are here, we are love, and you are welcome home. So I just release this prayer, this session together, knowing that it has been done and done beautifully. And together we can claim it by saying, and so it is. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. See you next year. Well, no, see you Sunday.